All right, traders, it's Thursday. That means it's time for the open mic. At it again. So if anybody wants to join, feel free to just pop on in and we can talk about whatever you'd like. I'm going to start off by kind of showing off some of the books I picked up yesterday. We might get into some of the books that I'm working on for clients at the moment. So yesterday, of course, went up to Black Cat and got my hold. I haven't been able to get into Dr. Volt or other shop. Actually, I've got holds at all three of the major shops in Salt Lake Valley, Nerd Store as well. But I'm going to try to get up there in the next couple of days and see what I got my hold up there. So first of all, really excited for this one. We got Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors. Super cool book. There's some great variants on this one. It's kind of an all ages Godzilla title. Haven't had a chance to read it yet. The one I was really excited for is the RI. That's just a really cool Mothra cover with the twins. So I really dig that. Greg was making fun of me when I grabbed it, but I think it's super cool. So I'm going to read those. Maybe do one of my 60-second reviews on it. Very cool book. Yesterday was also the day for Firefly. This is brand new verse. And this is a great take on the Firefly universe. Getting more into families and what's going on there. We've got the egg covers and the virgins of all those as well. Hello, Lox Crucis. How's it going? Of course, issue number 2 of Alien. And I'm just reading it. I'm not picking up any specific covers, so I just grabbed that. Greg had this stashed in my hold. Didn't ask for it, but he threw that in there because he knew I really dug Geiger. Glad to have this one. He takes way too good a care of me. I can't get it to do it, but it's a glow-in-the-dark cover. So when the lights are out, you get the ghost face around his face. So very cool. And if you haven't read Geiger yet, it's a super cool storyline. And then we've got, of course, Ha Ha came out. Got a couple different covers on that one. I grabbed them both. Got a few extras on that one. I think Ha Ha is a good long-term spec investment, so grab extra copies. It's up to you. So you want to make sure you have extra copies of that one. Lady Baltimore, The Witch Queens. Great story. Lady Baltimore's super cool. Of course, Dark Horse Comics knocking it out of the park. I'm starting my journey into Zenescope. New title, Man, Goat, and Bunny Man. That one's super cool. Zenescope just has the coolest covers. So that one came out yesterday. We're going to try that. Of course, Women of Marvel. I know people that are picking up every single cover. There are some spectacular covers. I just went with one. I'm just going to read it. I really like the Scarlet Witch. I believe that's a Momoko. It looks like a Momoko. But yeah, that one just kind of stood out to me. I really like that one, so I grabbed that one. Another book that I'm on, I know it's for younger readers, from Boombox. Spectre Inspectors. Got a couple different covers on that one. That's kind of a real fun, kind of a supernatural, just fun, entertaining supernatural stuff. Hey, Greg, how's it going? Yeah, you're just too busy these days. And anybody that's been in Greg's shop, I mean, he's still got stuff just trying to get caught up from the expansion. So we'll give them a break on not getting caught up on stuff. Stray Dogs. This is issue number 3. I still haven't read 2 yet. I was meh on number 1. I have picked them all up because, of course, it's a hot spec book. But Greg has told me that Stray Dogs gets better. That we're able to talk quite a bit, Greg and I, and like I really value his insight. He reads a lot, especially indie books. We have a lot of stuff in common. So, I'm gonna stay on Stray Dogs. We're gonna give it a run. So we'll take a look. I really dig the covers on it. Of course, that's the Annabelle cover swipe from the Annabelle movie poster. Madame Rogue wants to read that one. So, of course, we got them. They're sitting on my messy side of the bedroom. So, they're more than available. All right, so that's what I picked up for myself to read. I'm not picking up a lot of extra stuff. I got a couple people that I do a hold service for, and I pick up stuff for them. It was a pretty light week. Matter of fact, Rich says that he's behind on books, and I've got a few here for you. We can chat a little bit later. So when I was there in Greg's shop yesterday, I was just like, what haven't I gone through in this shop? And he pointed to a stack, and we went over and looked through a bunch of books. And this is some stuff that I picked up because I think there's some solid spec on it right now. Canto, this is issue number 2. It's not the high dollar book, but anything in that first Canto run is going to be a good investment. Okay, somebody's getting a little frisky. Yeah, Madame Rogue. We'll see how far that takes us. We've got Captain America number 1, Take Back Shield. Anything, of course, with Sam in his Cap costume that I think we're going to see this Friday, I hope. That'll be super cool. Not really sure. That one may actually end up in the personal collection. I'm really big into that Captain America and all those lateral titles and stuff. Of course, Moon Knight. This is a number 1. I can't find it at the moment, but I got number 1 and number 2. Moon Knight, of course, hot Disney Plus prospect. So that's a good one. Grayson number 1. I think anything Dick Grayson, Nightwing, if you can get a number 1 on the cover, is always going to be worth picking up. He's got tons of loyal fans. Keep in mind, all of this at Black Cat Comics through the end of the month, half off on all its back issues. So, $1.50, you can't go wrong, right? Had to grab that. Of course, Hawkeye number 1 from the new series. This is another Disney Plus spec book. We're going to be seeing these characters pop into Disney Plus, and the way that they kind of trend with what they're doing over there is they introduce characters from newer titles. So I would expect to see some movement on that one. Cost me $2.50. That's gonna move someplace for sure. Oh, there we go. Moon Knight number 1. So the other one was number 2. So we got both the Moon Knights. And hopefully Madame Rogue has left the chat, because this is the stuff I picked up for the personal collection. Bunch of Star Trek. Low grade or no grade. But grabbed a bunch of Star Trek. These are going to fit in real nice. Some Star Wars annual number 1. I actually really dig that Luke Skywalker taking on the world type cover. But we grabbed a few Star Wars books. You got Han, Luke, Chewie on the cover. Can't beat that. More Luke with R2. Need to get some bags on these. Nice Princess Leia cover. So I did pretty good. I mean, another Star Trek. That's got Kirk and Spock on it. Super cool, low number from that Marvel series. So my next run that I'm working on is I'm going to work on some of my Star Trek stuff. And I always do 3 at a time, right? So I'm going to do Star Trek, G.I. Joe. I'm probably going to hit Indiana Jones for a little while, get that taken care of. And then a little bit bigger books. Joe #1. So he has it marked down as a VG+. I like Greg's grading. Like, he's extremely accurate on his grading. He uses the old system, the Overstreet system. Couple spine ticks that break. A significant roll. No real dirt. I haven't taken it out of the bag, but no big creases. A little bit of one up there. Most of what's on this will come out. So I may be sending that off to CGC, just so I have it protected. But yeah, at least they were on sale. So $6 for G.I. Joe 1 in a VG. Can't beat that. I mean, that's just a solid book. We got G.I. Joe #70. I actually broke down and told my wife how good of a deal this was, but Greg knows that I'm a huge Trekkie. Love my Star Trek, and those old Gold Key Western publisher books are so hard to find, so hard to get your hands on. And he basically threw these on the table in front of me just so I'd cuss at him. But we got some great Star Trek from that very first Star Trek run. We got issue #4. And it's funny because I almost bought issue #1 this weekend. And my thing is I don't pay more than what cover prices tell me a book is worth. And then I take it grade into consideration. I'm not going to overpay for a book just to put it in my personal collection. I'll pay top dollar for it, but I'm not going to overpay. I obviously did not pay top dollars for this. So that's a $20 book right there. I mean, that's what I paid for it. Star Trek #5. And this is #5. It's a nice, that one cost me $12. We got #6. It cost me $9. And #10. And that one cost me $6. And again, I mean, these will press out. Oh, I need to get that in the chamber. It's got a little bit of rust on it, but I hate rust on staples. I didn't see that. I typically won't buy a book with rust on staples because it's so hard to do anything with. But it's going for the personal collection, so I will actually probably remove and replace that staple. So Star Trek #5. So that's what I picked up for the personal collection. Some great books. Pretty excited. Had a good day yesterday. And real quick, I wanted to show these off. I had a customer send these in to me for pressing and cleaning. Some really nice older books. Yeah, you don't know what Greg and I do when we get together and we're not here. There's a reason I go in an hour before his store opens. That really sounded bad. That's not like that. Okay, so we've got Astonishing Dinner Guest. Nice Golden Age tin center. That's a beautiful book. Pressed out real nice. We sat all of these. This one actually had a lot of foxing on it. Had a pretty significant roll we were able to get out. Real happy with the way that one turned out. I think the customer will be as well. That one's really cool. Unusual. Now a little bit, and this is horrible because we got some of that grease pen or grease pencil right here, and so hard to get off. I mean, if it's on a white, a modern white, we can get it right off. It comes right off. But in something like this, it's been embedded in that for the last 70 years. Super hard to get rid of. But really a cool book. That one still needs to go be chambered and get a press. Some Silver Age goodness. Kid, Flash, Aqualad, and Robin. This is Brave and the Bold. What issue we on? Brave and the Bold 54. Kind of a prelude to the Teen Titans, where Boy Wonder's out saving the superpowered kids, right? So that one turned out real nice. This one had a lot of mold on it. There was like a spore colony growing right here. We had to chamber it twice, get it rehydrated, and yeah, I'm like that ozone really does the trick. This one cleaned up pretty nice for what it is. Got the rust arrested on it, so I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Super cool early Avengers from the Silver Age, number 58. Very cool Vision key. That one turned out real nice. I think we're getting into higher, a high mid grade on this. Probably gonna come back a 5 to 6, I would think. So that one's looking pretty good, and that's taking into accountability the somewhat harsher grading, COVID grading system they got going on now. I'm not sure what's going on over there. And a couple of super cool Golden Age. You're going to appreciate these ones, Greg. We've got Batman, number 78. It's just a beautiful cover. Batman and Robin joining the ski patrol. That's a super cool book. I get hesitant to do a lot with these. Trying to get soiling and stuff off of them typically gets pretty hard. You don't want to deteriorate the paper anymore, especially if it's already lost any gloss that it ever had. So, but they pressed out real nice. They rehydrated real well. Those are super cool. And then the oldest one that was in the batch, and this game just beat to hell. We got Batman number 72. That one's really cool. It's really cool to get a book like this. The book itself, the cover is completely detached. Like this is a 0.5, I'm not sure how they do that, 0.5, 1.0. Like it's the best you can get on something like that. But it's a super cool book. Like the whole cover is there. It's going to present extremely well. So if this goes into a slab, it's just going to look really sharp. Typically, what I would recommend on a book like this, definitely you want to get it preserved. I would personally, if this were in my collection, I would put it in a 4mm Mylar with extenders and a clear backing board. And the reason for that is at some point in the future life of this book, it's going to have to be redone, just to keep it alive for as long as possible. And sealing it into a slab may prevent that. Not that the slab, the new CGC slabs, and I don't know how their Golden Age stuff is, but the new CGC slabs seem to be better at preservation than the old ones were. And of course, CBCS slabs take that into account, and they're much better at preservation. They always have been. But once it's in a slab, people are going to be hesitant to remove it and get that type of work done. But and it's not something that's going to need to be done anytime soon. But just a super, super cool book. All right, so today I got myself a package all the way from Canada. So we are about to see what Travis, TM Nerdy, sent us to get pressed and cleaned. He's going to be breaking into a little bit of that online sales, that kind of stuff. So these books are going to be pressed, and he's going to have them graded, and then I believe from our conversation, his intention is to have these available for sale. And Travis, I hope it's cool that I'm doing this on camera. Probably should have asked first. I think I kind of did. But better to ask forgiveness, right? All right, so first of all, like, you're going to pack them bulletproof. Whew. I'm going to do this real quick. All right, so I'm going to go through these books. If anybody wants to show off what you got yesterday or whatever, feel free to pop in here. It's on StreamYard. Man, Travis, what is going on here? How's it going, Mars? How you doing today? Oh, good Lord, Travis, what'd you do? So this is Travis's way of saying that he hopes that I take good care of his books as he did in packing them, because these things are not. We got painter's tape, we got packing tape. Now, I do recommend, like, there's been a lot of issues lately with damages to CGC. So I do recommend this type of packing job when you're sending off. And this is how, when I send books off to CGC, this is how we pack them. Face to face, back to back, so that you eliminate the possibility of getting any type of spine roll in your book, because that is a killer. And then I tape them together before putting them in the Geminis. Oh, this is cool. All right. Well, maybe I should have pre-opened this mess. Lordy, Travis. All right. We got a couple of them freed. So apparently in Canada, your painter's tape is green. Wow. Yeah, this is compelling viewing today, isn't it? Oh, wow. So we actually had a fairly long conversation on Messenger about these books, and he was kind of trying to decide what to get graded and what would be worth it. And so far, it looks like he made some really decent choices, for sure. I mean, this is stuff that I might be a customer. A couple books I'm looking for the PC. Bizarro, Eric, I like that one. Bizarro, Eric. So we're in if we're in the Bizarro world, that means that you take comic books and wrinkle them, right? Put spine ticks in them. Oh, that's savage. Okay. Yeah. So he put all these books face to face, taped them together, and then put them back to back and taped them together again in larger bundles, triple wrapped them in bubble tape or bubble wrap. Wow, buddy. All right, this is the last one, so I'm trying to get it done as quick as possible, guys. I promise. And this is, go ahead, talk amongst yourselves. All right, let's see what we got. So first up, Spawn, number 64. Spawn's always got like the best covers. They always have. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Capullo McFarlane, number 54. That one's super cool. Another Capullo, 56. Like Capullo's run on Spawn was just spectacular. What is this, 65? That one's got a bit of a roll in it. That'll come right out. Those look nice. All right. Shadowhawk 3, issue number 1. That kind of chromium cover. A little bit tricky, but we can get her done. Another Capullo, issue 66. Number 72. So this was in that era when you hit Spawn. I think it's right around 60 is when they start kind of winding down those print runs. And so those are like that second century, the like issue 125 to like 175. There's like a block of 50 issues there that are extremely low print runs, and like they're some of them becoming completely unobtainable, especially those homage covers. And I know this because I did a little bit of research. Bob sent me some to press, and like it's just crazy how low print runs those are, and some of them have in the past year become unattainable because they're $350 to $500 a piece on the open market. This era, this section of Spawn here, especially in a graded book, is becoming extremely hard to find. people are just not letting them go. So you're seeing a lot of these starting to creep up over $100, $150, a couple 250s in this area in a 9.8. This is an extremely hard book to press and get in a good grade. We've got Spawn number 74, that solid black cover. Like, I see a lot of these that are just tore up on the side, a lot of color rubbing, that image ink from that time period rubbed like crazy. And of course, black shows your breaks. This one is, wow, I see a couple of divots in it that are going to come right out. So that one ought to be a pretty decent one. And then Aliens number 1, variant cover. That one's super cool. And of course, gold cover, New Mutants 87. That is the first Cable. Gold cover is second print, I believe, on that one. It's funny, I'm just going through all the store New Mutants covers. Let's take a quick look here at a couple of these. And again, if anybody wants to show off anything that you got, want to join the conversation, feel free. We're going to be here for another half hour or so. New Mutants 87. Ooh, that one's shooting up there, doing pretty well. Yeah, second print. Average raw comic sell is $10. Not bad, an $85 investment. I do see a micro on the spine. The tick will come out. Very nice, very clean cover. I'm just kind of curious on this. Spawn 74. Nice. $103 and a 9.8. And it's trending up. So that one, yeah, I think you'll do well on that one for sure. Real nice looking book. And I happen to know a lot of people that are out looking for Spawn at the moment. So these are ones that he's having pressed for CGC. Again, I believe that he's going to be listing these for sale. So if you're looking for Spawn, these may be coming on the market when we can get CGC to get through some books. Of course, CGC just announcing change to their prices. If you're going to be sending things into CGC, you're going to want to do that in the next week. Get online, get that online form filled out, and then they have to be submitted by the 28th of next month. I know I have quite a few people that are getting books off to me in order to get them in before that price jump hits, because that's and I don't want to get too heavy into the whole thing. I personally, CGC to me is kind of missing the mark by doing this. We can't get our books back in time. We're seeing all kinds of quality control issues. I don't think kicking the customer when they're down is the way to go. Maybe I mean, they're doing away with discounts, they're raising prices, they're changing pricing tiers. And maybe taking care of a customer, making sure that books don't have scratches or hairs. I had a Something's Killing the Children left me in mint condition. It was a solid 9.96, maybe with harsher grading 9.4, and it came back like an 8.5 with a ding on the corner, a ding that wasn't there when I sent it out. So it's really concerning that you start seeing quality control issues like that going on, scratch cases, Newton rings, everything goes on, books loose in containers, and then their solution to that is let's charge more. So there's I don't think that we've started to really see the backlash from that, and it's something that's headed our way. And so it'll be interesting to see how they fare through all of this. And actually, Two Brothers Comics, if you get the chance, go check out. They just did a video on that, the CGC price increase. So really interesting. Let's see, on 64, 65, 54, 64. So let's take a look at this Spawn 64. So up in this area, the way that the artwork is done, there's a lot of little scratches on this black pillar. So looking at that, I'm like, oh, it's all scratched up. No, that's part of the art. I don't see a couple ticks. If you get the light just right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 has a micro. So I see 4 or 5 ticks. One of them has a micro, but those should come right out for sure. And things like that are pretty easy for an experienced presser to get out. But yeah, it's a very cool cover either way. All right, so wanted to show this off in my Lego journey. Got the Halo sword last week. Got that all put together. So I got my Halo shelf going. Found this set of UNSC Marines at a yard sale. So I grabbed that. Got the Halo sword. Got my Warthog. Of course, you got to have a Warthog. The helmet, and then these were on clearance at Walmart. My Master Chief. He's my hero. So next is the Forerunner. The Forerunner ring. I'm going to grab that one and we'll take a look at that. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I wouldn't use CGC for sports cards. It kind of doesn't make sense. I know back in the day it was Beckett, and Beckett seems to kind of be the standard still. So, and from what I understand, Beckett does a good job. So, and I think Beckett is part of CBCS, if I'm not, or vice versa, something like that. Howdy, Bueller. How's it going? Everybody, we got Bueller in the house. Dude, I haven't played Halo in so long. I am legit. I'm on Halo 4, like halfway through Halo 4. And I own every single Halo game to ever come out. And I'm on Halo 4. That's how far behind I am. But yeah, I need to get back on the Xbox once in a while. I mean, I love my Xbox. I just don't have time. Um, Things are starting to kind of equalize since I decided that this is going to be my profession going forward, which is kind of nice. I'm in the process of kind of cleaning things up. Some of you may have noticed the website's undergoing some change. So basically, I've gotten to the point where the only thing I'm listing on the website is books that are $10 or more, which is only probably 20% of what was there before. And then everything else I'm putting in boxes when you take the shows, and I don't know, once I start getting more established with maybe looking at doing some boxes, mystery boxes or whatever. But I don't know, something to think about in the future. I've got thousands of books, obviously, and we'll see where that goes. But I'm also like I've got thousands and thousands of Matchbox and Hot Wheels cars. I'm just going to blow those out. All the Funko Pops are going to go. I'm going to be strictly comic books to go along with the pressing and cleaning. I may keep some action figures and magic cards around, stuff like that, just to that extra added income. Let's see if I can bring up one exciting thing, a couple exciting things actually. There's a sale going on this weekend. Hive Comics has a couple exclusives coming out. They have their Black Cotton #2 that goes on sale Saturday, and Department of Truth #6, which they've got some pretty cool covers for. And I like to mention Hive Comics. They are an unofficial official sponsor. Them and Black Cat Comics, both of them treat me extremely well. That's why I like to mention what's going on with them. But the Hive Comics, this, let's see if I can bring it up there. And this doesn't do it justice. So this is, I guess not Department of Truth, it's a crossover. This is their crossovers #6. Very cool cover. But they do have, this is a Gallagher cover. They got Gallagher on 7, 8, 9, and they're going to be connecting covers. So look out for that. But this one goes on sale this weekend. As always, they've got singles, they've got 5-packs, they've got 9.8 variants. I would not be surprised if they sneak in some signature series stuff on that book because they're working real close with Gallagher. But this is their Black Cotton. Such a cool, such a timely, very poignant piece of artwork for their Black Cotton #2. And they've got this in a reverse image. It doesn't come through on, it doesn't really translate here, but this cover is going to be printed on metal. It's going to be a metal cover. Typically price point on those are right around the $75 to $100 mark. I believe. I could be wrong. I'm obviously not their spokesperson, so but they are super cool. I think it's a very important book to own and have in the personal collection, and what they're doing over there is really, really cool. So and that one's going to look really cool on a sheet of metal on your comic book. So those are a couple things that they have going on over there. And I would like to encourage everybody to see if I can find it here. To do what you can to support these guys. We've got Bleak Haven Comics. They are some local Utah guys and gals that are putting out their own self-published book, Bleak Haven. They support it with a podcast. they've built this entire world that's based on mythology and fantasy and science fiction, everything that you can think of. They got a Kickstarter that they just threw up where you can get involved. They're trying to raise $10,000 so they can get some more of their stories out there. Stanley Bostwick, the originator of this Bleakhaven thing, has not only are they putting out super cool books, but he's got this whole thing planned. Like he's driving for an animated series and podcasts. They do like a radio drama. You can check them out on YouTube. But Bleakhaven, super cool. If you get the time to just kind of check it out, see what the guys are doing over there at Bleakhaven, because it is super, super cool. And we want to support our independent creators as much as possible. And of course, if you're wanting a Bleakhaven comic, let me know. I've got their first issue. They did an exclusive. It was my first exclusive. But it's a flip book like the old Marvel Comics Presents. You've got issue number 1 on the front, issue number 2 on the back. But they've got the Black Cat cover on the front, the Rogue Trader cover on the back, and the same story on the interior. But expect some what I think is big news, exciting news coming from Bleakhaven in the future as we move forward with our relationship with them and some of the stuff that we're doing. So yeah, let's see what else is going on in comics today. I'm going to pop over here to what else did we have released this week. Look at some new stuff that I didn't pick up. I'm going to bring these up. No, not that. So the first thing, I go to Black Cat on Tuesday mornings to pick up my DC stuff. And okay, I go there to chat with Greg. That's what I do. I go in, hang out for an hour or so Tuesday mornings just to discuss what's going on with Greg and whatnot. So first thing that he hit me with this week when I walked in on Tuesday morning was, check out this artwork from DC. And this is the first book he pulled up. Flash being terrified and manhandled by a young lady. Like, that's kind of savage. But then he brought up this, if I can find it. Oh yeah, this one everybody's talking about. And I'm trying to remember what he called it. It's Nightwing's advertisement for Serta's Posturepedic beds or something like that. That was cracking me up. And then these, I mean, what is going on here? This is the Joss Whedon Superman CGI mustache cover, tribute cover. The Anorexic Bizarro cover. And I don't even know what that is. Like, what's going on, DC? Like, I was not impressed. I'm trying out the bed in the mall store. Like, it's crazy. And the Nightwing cover, I get it. It's kind of tongue in cheek. It's not, the artwork's pretty all right, but like the Superman, what is going on here? Like, and this is coming off of that horrible Joker covers, like the Joker #1. Like, you had to go to Comic Tom to get a decent Joker cover, and it's a fantastic story. So that's just kind of my take on that. Human Shrek. Yes, TM, I did become a sponsor of Lamer Frame. Anybody that's on Lamer Frame If you don't know what Layman Frame is, it's a super cool thing that Rod the Rican does on Thursdays, I think. I should probably know that since I'm his sponsor. But he gets people from the comic book community together, and then they throw out a category. This week was Marvel supervillains, and TM was on there, and you had to draw Marvel supervillains. And then you draw like 4 or 5 of them, and at the end of them, they announce a winner. Well, from now on, the winner of Lamer Frame will get 5 free pressings from Rogue Trader. It's a super cool concept. It's a lot of fun. It's about an hour long. And he does that with Bearded. So check it out. Check out some of the backs. They did one a couple weeks ago where they were drawing YouTube comic personalities, and the very Gary ones were phenomenal. You got to check them out. They were super cool. So Lamer Frame, that's on Rod the Rican's channel. And I also am a sponsor for Bob on Everything Comics, of course. And both of them, you've got Rod 9.8 for his channel, and then you've got for Everything Comics, you got Everything 20. Both of those codes on my website, or if you have the PDF, just write Everything 20 on your submission forms, and you'll get 20% off of your pressing services. So those are available, and I got a deal worked out with them that kind of helps them on their pressing as well. So, but yeah, the Rod the Rican's channel is just hilarious, and he does that. He does a Sunday shout out show, so make sure you're checking him out. TM Nerdy on YouTube. Let's see here. I can go ahead and throw these in here real quick, I'm sure. So if you're not subscribed to TM Nerdy, there is his channel on YouTube. Help the young man grow. He's becoming much more confident in front of the camera, doing some good stuff. I was just watching a couple of his videos before I signed on here. He does unboxings of toys and checking out cards. So it's not just comic books, it's comic book related content. So sub up to TM Nerdy, help him grow. He just launched a Patreon, pretty cheap. Like it's like buying a Spawn book, $2.99 a month, and you help him throw out some content. Big supporter of the YouTube community. Let's support him. Let's see if I can find it. I mean, I know that I'm not the most professional here. You've got, this is Rod the Rican. Go check out Lamer Frame, some of the other stuff that he does. He just did a great interview with the creators of Kanto. So I've seen them twice now, and it just so happens it's been on Everything in Comics and Just a Rican in his comics. Both channels I sponsor, so a little bit of coincidence there. Of course, everybody knows Comics with Bueller. You can always just search Comics with Bueller. Must watch every week. Love his live streams. Love his Monday show. The most informative comic channel out there. Doesn't push spec. Doesn't do any of that stuff. Just let you know. Let you know what's coming out. So make sure you're on that one. Of course, everybody's favorite, Bob, Everything Comics. Support Bullseye Bob. He's a great guy, a great member of the community, and probably should, but has never said no to me whenever I've asked anything from him. Just a fantastic gentleman. And I mean, there's so many YouTubers out there that are putting out great content. it's a great time to be in the community. So one quick last thing before I end this, I want to talk about this real quick. Batman Fortnite 0 Point. So Tuesday, like this is going to be a book that's going to trigger Greg for the next 20 years. Tuesday, I was in the store picking up books, and I pick up books to resell to people outside my immediate community. I don't sell locally. I've got 5 or 6 just fantastic local shops around me, and they've got it covered. So I sell to places that don't have comic shops. I'm active in groups in smaller cities that don't have access. So I picked up a few of these. The book just went off the chain this week. We're already seeing high sales of, I shit you not, I saw $100 sale come off of this book. $100 for this book that was released Tuesday. Average sales on the book on Tuesday when I was in there, average sales on the book were $15 before Greg opened his doors. When I was there, he got, in the hour and a half I was there, he probably got 50 phone calls for the book. By the time I got home, I looked it up again. Average sales on the book were up to $25. Now we're seeing $30 on an average. I think we're leveling out at that $30 mark. The reason is they polybagged these with a code for the game. And one thing I think that we need to be aware of on this book, as far as spec goes, comic book, video game crossovers, everybody crosses over with Batman. These things never hold on their own merit. So these $30 sales that you're seeing are an absolute outlier. Don't buy into the FOMO. This is not going to be a $500 book next year. As a matter of fact, you've got, if you have this in your possession and you're not going to collect it, you have about a week to sell the book. Because on the 1st, the code inside the book that everybody's after is no longer going to be working. And that, in effect, will make the book worthless. So if you have these, make sure you flip them quick. I would sell them. I've sold a couple, and I'm at $15 on them. I'm not gonna gouge anybody for the 30. If you're buying them from me for 15, think you're gonna sell them a couple months down the road for 100, you're crazy. Don't be doing that. Yeah, and I've seen people selling just the code. Like, I'll open up the book, give you the code for $30, and I get to keep the book. I've seen a lot of that. That book is now a quarter bin book. I don't. And of course, this is my opinion. I've been wrong before. I don't think I'm wrong on this one. I think I called it when I said this is a Superman 50 of our era. We saw very, very similar things happen. Superman 50 come out, had the gimmick, it was packaged. I think, from what I'm saying, the code is only good till the 1st. And I'll have to admit, I didn't really look that far into it. I just looked at the month and day. So if I'm wrong, please correct me. But even at that, I don't see it climbing up to those hundreds of dollars. But I compared this to Superman 50, another book that was released with a heavy gimmick like that. Brought in a lot of people that don't collect comic books to buy comic books, push sales, and then, like, even today, you can get Superman 50s. I think I have about 30 of them sitting around here in this room someplace. So don't invest real heavy into it. If you play the game, grab a hold of it, but let's not be part of the problem. But that's just my 2 cents on it. I would like to say that it's a super cool Are you kidding me right now? Third printing on the book. Like, I'm not even sure why it's going to a second printing. Why would it be a third print? So, stranger things have happened, right? So that's my spiel for the day. As always, we do this every week, Thursday morning, 11 o'clock. Anybody is welcome to jump on. I'll tell you what, Mars, if you need one and shoot me a message, Facebook Messenger, easiest way to get a hold of me, shoot me a message. I'll make sure you get one. And just take care of you. What's up?
Station, everyone.
Oh, I was about to pop off, and then you showed up.
I had to run and grab a coffee, and it was a huge lineup for at Tim Hortons. So
we're just talking about this crazy Batman 0 point stuff that's going on.
Yeah, it's because of that code for Fortnite. I think it's a Harley Quinn skin you can get.
Harlequin or the Harlequin skin. I don't know. Somebody explained the whole thing to me, and honestly, I don't get it. I don't play the game, so that's probably why I don't get it. But I guess you've got issue 1 is a Harlequin skin, issue 2 is a backpack, issue 3 is like a tool or something. In every issue, they have something different, and if you collect them all, you get a special Batman.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. I just knew about the Harley Quinn skin from this book, and that's why it's selling out everywhere.
Yeah. But like I was saying, Mars, if you need one, let me know. I will make sure you get one for your kid. I'm more than happy to do that. I've got a few. So
that and Nightwing has been selling out pretty fast. Like, I wasn't able to get my hands on Nightwing, and I will be able to grab it here soon. But like the shop that I use, it's sold out like in a matter of minutes.
Huh. I'm pretty sure that we've got some of those at our local shops. Going into the week, I thought that was going to be the big book. But obviously that's not how it worked out, because Fortnite just blew everything away.
I thought the Many Deaths of Layla Starr was going to get a lot more attention than it did.
I think that's a sleeper. I really do. I made sure that I grabbed a couple. I don't know. This is pretty interesting. So the Nightwing 79, we're seeing $9.50 average sales on it. So on the A cover, you're at 25 average sales. That's somewhat impressive.
Yeah. Too many people sleeping on Rom V right now.
Yeah, I think so. This is interesting. I was about to say I would like to get Mars' take on that book. Because I think on books like that, she's got just a unique perspective on that. Boom may be wearing out its welcome because of Berserker. Yeah, that Berserker, or the Something's Killing the Children code that was in Berserker, that's kind of a mishandled situation. So when do you get your books, Travis?
I bought mine Tuesday night, so I ordered, like I said, ship my whole box because I have a ton of back issues in there as well. So I just got it shipped today, so I'll probably get it next Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
But I have a ton of back issues coming in this haul. So
where's your closest comic shop?
It's probably about 2 hours away. So with how I order it from Cap Captain Cap Can Comics, and it's pretty cheap on shipping because like for a month of like if I decide like all right I'll get my books in a month, like I'll get them all put in my whole box and then get them all shipped in a month. That's only $15. So if I was to travel back and forth every week, 2 hours back and forth, that'd be 4 hours a day. I'd be spending more than $15. So I just thought it would be more cheaper for me just to wait for my books and then read them all at once. I know Fable does the same thing. Me and Fable both get our books. We order our books and we get a big box of books all at once.
Wow. That's just crazy. I couldn't even imagine. I grew up like from day one. Well, I grew up in the spinner rack era, so I was able to get them at the supermarket. But yeah, right now I live. My closest comic book shop is 5 minutes away. That's not the one I go to. Greg's shop is I drive 20 minutes to get to his place, but like that's my LCS, so that's where I go. And then I've got 6 comic book shops within a 20-minute drive of me. So that makes it pretty nice.
I might send you some more books to get cleaned and pressed and sent off to CGC.
All right.
I was just going through like I have a lot of what ifs, as you guys know, and I have some Marvel Comics Presents coming. A lot of Wolverine and Ghost Rider covers. So
nice. I actually that's one of the best things about this job. Like there's a lot of like these Batman books that I was showing earlier. I'd never be able to get those in my personal collection. But I get a hold of them, I get to work with them, I get to look at them. They're not mine, but I get to be part of their journey, I think that's super cool. I really dig that. And then
those Batman issues are baller.
Yeah, those are super cool. Like I've done, like I since I've been doing this, especially in the last year when I've been ramping it up, I've had so many like Giant Size X-Men #1, Amazing Spider-Man 300, Hulk 181, like books that you would never imagine that you get your hands on, and I've been able to like work with them.
Like I like this one. It's a homage. What if?
Oh yeah.
I got both.
There's a second one on that too. With the black cat. Yeah.
I got both of them.
Right on.
So like I like these, and I probably will send these to you to get cleaned and pressed in that, because these two are probably my top favorites. And then I have like these are only from volume 1, but I do have a couple from volume 2. Sorry, I do have a couple from volume 1, and I do have one on the way. What if volume 1, issue 30? It's what if Spider-Man's clone had lived.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, those are super cool. I right now they're just becoming so hard. They're starting. People are just realizing that Disney Plus show is coming out, so the speckers are starting to just snatch them up left and right, and yeah, they're starting to go through the roof.
Yeah, I think the other person I know that's been snagging them is Bob, Bullseye Bob.
Yeah.
And just show him off.
Oh, that's cool.
Art's by David Ernst. He did this for Bullseye Bob. Bob sent that to me. So
right on.
But yeah, he's been collecting and getting them all. And there's a few he doesn't have that I have, and that we've talked about it. But he's been snagging a lot of what ifs. But he's been getting the volume 1s, which are harder to come by.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's Volume 1, Volume 2, those are both runs that eventually I'm going to build. So I've got huge stacks of them just sitting off to the side that I haven't gone through yet. And I need to kind of do an initial sorting on them so I can get all the extras out. And then probably hit you and Bob up, see if you need any of them. For
Yeah,
sure.
that'd be great. Chances are I probably will be buying some off of you.
I know I probably got a short box full of What If.
That's crazy.
For sure.
Um, I was talking to. Were you? Did you see my video yesterday with talking with Bobby Delgado?
I did. I just watched it.
Yeah, he has like what 2 short boxes and a long box full of signed things,
Wow.
and that's just crazy because he's been collecting since this 77, 74, maybe. So,
Wow.
and he's never stopped, never quit, never done, like just continued, and so
Well, I know a lot of us. It's funny because like me and Bob and Bueller, like a lot of your people in our age group all had the same experience. We quit like in the late '90s. I think Bueller quit a bit earlier than that, and then just got back into it in the last. So there was like a 20-30 year hiatus for a lot of us, and I got really lucky because I had a pretty sizable collection because I was in my mid 20s when I quit, and I was in the service at the time, and I told my mom to just get rid of them. I'm like, just give them to Goodwill or sell them, do whatever, get rid of them. And she refused to. So when I got back into it, I still have about 75% of my original collection. Like a
that's
few
awesome.
books have been lost over the years, but a lot of them are still there. And a lot of the high dollar books that I'm about to put up on my website are from that original collection.
That's
But
crazy.
I was lucky enough that my parents supported me in doing this when I was a teenager. So I subscribed to, back then you could actually subscribe directly to Marvel. So I had Marvel and DC. I got Batman and Detective and Superman every single month. And I got Spider Man, Doctor Strange, and the Avengers every month.
That's decent.
So I got like a 40 issue run where I have every single issue of those titles because Marvel would send them directly to me.
That's nice. So you have like a lot in your collection from the 90s too? I love 90s stuff. That's like my era, so like I love the 90s. Like the
Well,
all of the things in that.
I got out in about 92, 93. So right before the bubble really burst. I mean, it was starting, the Image thing had happened. I actually owned a comic store back then. So the Image thing happened. Um, that's probably what got me out of it is when the bubble started to burst and business was becoming really rough. I folded up the shop and just decided I was going to have nothing to do with comics again. I was just burned out at that point. But that's when I got out, and then the bubble really burst, and Superman 50 tanked, and people were pissed off because they lost everything because of it. I know people that lost houses because of Superman 50 because they invested so
Really?
heavy into it. And it was just crazy. But most of my collecting, I got into it when I was 7. So 1974 is when I got my first comic book. And I actually have my very first. It was a 3 packs of Marvel Tells Spider-Man. They're $2 books, whatever. But I still have those first 3 books I ever got, and I've got them hanging up in my grandkids' playroom.
Nice. That's awesome. Like, are they graded or?
No, I don't. It's funny because I do this type of work, but I don't grade. I don't grade my personal collection. I don't have a single slab book for my personal collection.
Like I have a few 9.6s, but those were just bought and for cheap, like maybe $30 for one of them. But I think Shadowhawk and that alien cover that I sent you, those would be for my personal collection, just because I love aliens. I love that aliens cover, and I'm a huge Shadowhawk Jim Valentino fan.
So. Oh yeah. Yeah, my thing with grading is for the longest time, and it hasn't been till recently with the new slabs, CGC slabs are actually detrimental to the book. They will damage the book over time. And because of that, I have not been wanting to grade books. Now, the new slabs that they come out with, they breathe, they have a different coating on the plastic, so they preserve the comic better. And now I can see myself getting something graded. I'm actually sending my first 5 personal comic books off to CGC to be graded because the guys over at Hive Comics have talked me into it. So we'll see how that goes. And they're all moderns. I got my ENIAC #1 is going to go off to get graded because at some point I'm going to flip it. I mean, there's no point in keeping around that book.
And that's going to go for a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that I'm the one that gets back the 9.9 or 10.0, right? That's the goal with that book. But I've pressed probably a dozen of them for a group of guys, and they're headed off to CGC with mine. So out of the dozen, I'm pretty sure that we'll get 4 or 5 9.9s, maybe a couple 10s.
That's awesome.
But that's a pretty indestructible book. It's going to be hard not to get a good grade on it. And I'm probably going to send my Tankers #1, but I liked that. I liked Tankers more than I liked ENIAC. I really liked ENIAC, but Tankers was a better story. So,
and Tankers is from Bad Idea as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's their second book.
Okay. I think the new company that I'm going for is Second Sight.
Second Sight, it looks interesting. I haven't picked any of their stuff up. My first one's going to be that Bueller exclusive. So I'm kind of excited. It kind of sounds to me like some of the early 90s Image, kind of Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld stuff. So I'm a little excited for it. I hope they deliver on it. Bueller seems to like it, which is a plus. I trust his judgment. We got a lot of similar tastes. But yeah, I ordered Chess. I got Blowtorch coming, so we'll check it out.
I have to. I'm talking to the creator of Blowtorch and Chess, and that I'm trying to. He's just waiting for his books. I'm buying the books directly off him because nowhere in Canada has Blowtorch and Chess. And I was like, all right, well, I am actually next Friday. I am going to be having a segment with Alfred Page on my channel.
Nice.
And we'll be talking about Blowtorch and Chess and what he did to get into the industry and how he got started and all that. And then over on Chamorro Cinema's channel, I'll be on that as well. And we'll be having Marvin Wynn, the creator of The Edge, on there. So we're all about Second Sight.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen an interview with Marvin before. I can't remember where it was, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's been in this community, in the chats and that, long before he created that comic book. So he's part of this community long before that. So like, I like to support that. Like, he was part of this community before he became got into writing a comic book. So yeah, let's praise him.
Nice.
So I can't wait.
Yeah,
I bought the book directly off of him as well.
yeah,
I
I'm
should
pretty excited for that. I like
soon.
buying from the creators because for me, I mean, I've got quite a few signed books as well. I probably have at least a short box um, that I've gotten done signed over the years. But I like getting the books from the creators because they can personalize it. Like my book from Bueller, like his first exclusive, Knockin' Dead. I had him sign that. Of course, I've got like the Bleak Haven stuff all signed. Like that's one that I'm really excited for. I think they're gonna do pretty decent things with that book.
Are you looking? Are you excited for any new books that are coming out?
Um, not really. I mean, the indie stuff. I'm always excited about the indie stuff. I think they got great things going on at Behemoth. Um, You Promised Me Darkness was just a killer read, and I'm
Was it?
excited for that run. Um, Cold of Dracula, I really like that one. Source Point's doing some really cool stuff, so I really dig that. Um, you know, the past 6 months or so, because I do the pressing for Hive Comics, I really get into a lot. They give me everything pretty much everything they put out. So I really get into a lot of the indies that they work with, and they work really close with Scout and Source Point and some of these like really cool edgier indie books. So I'm really getting into that kind of stuff. As far as mainline titles, I mean, I'm super excited for the Spawn verse. I think that's going to be super cool.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
excited for Donny Cates on. I think it's going to be Gunslinger Spawn, so that should
Yeah,
be interesting.
yeah, and so there's a couple. I think that there's some rumors that Clayton Crane's going to get involved, and I think that would be interesting. I would like to see. I would like to see like some of that old school Image get involved. If we could have, some Rob Liefeld on a Spawn title. Um,
Jim Valentino.
oh yeah, that'd be
We'll
killer.
throw that in there.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. And this is my Spawnverse hot take. Nobody's talking about it, but right now a good book to invest in, Sam and Twitch, man. Like
Yeah,
you cannot do the Spawnverse without Sam and Twitch.
yeah,
And they had that long run. I don't know how many books were in that run, but like
yeah. They're like me and Herm have been rereading, like going back and reading the Spawn Compendium, like starting from the beginning and like doing 5 issues. And like, yeah, Sam and Twitch are in every issue, and they play an integral part
right.
forward. Like, it may not look that way at the first couple of issues, be like, oh, they're just thrown in there. But yeah, their story progresses through each issue.
All right, so check this out. So this came to me because I saw a Facebook Marketplace ad about Sam and Twitch, and I love these guys. I used to read this. So issue number one's a little bit high, $18, but everything on this, it's a 26 issue run. Everything on it is $2. Like $2, which means if you're really lucky, you can probably pick them up for $1 a piece. I'm telling you, Sam and Twitch is going to be the one that you're going to wish you had your hands on.
You guys heard it here first.
I mean, I think
Sam and Twitch.
Yeah, even this one, the 4 issue limited, every one of those is a $2 book. I'm kind of curious as how they're going to handle the Angela thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Like they really just can't put her in the Spawn verse, which is upsetting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think technically, legally, they still can, but I would not fault Image or Todd McFarlane at all if he just washed his hands of the whole Angela situation just to avoid any chance of bad blood coming up.
Which sucks because like the introduction to Angela is amazing, and
Yeah,
I got to that in the Spawn Compendium, and it's a great story. A lot biblical, but like with scripts and stuff on that issue. But other than that, the issue is really really good.
yeah, I thought that was really interesting because the whole point of Angela in the Spawn verses, originally in the Spawn books, was it was very um, Roman Catholic in nature, um, Judeo Christian, and then they turn around and make her Thor's sister in Marvel. So that was kind of bizarre to me. I don't understand why they did all that, but
Yeah.
it's all good. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Of course, Spawn has been knocking it out of the park recently. A lot of that, of course, was because of the very wise decision to keep it at $3 a book. Um,
Big question is he going to continue that with the Spawn universe being kind of creator owned stories, right? Because like if Donny Cates is coming in to do this story, if somebody's coming in to do that story, will it continue at $2.99 or will it go up because of those
well,
creators?
I think that the Spawn title will stay at $2.99 as the flagship, and then everything off of that. I mean, you can't bring Donny Cates onto a title and not increase the price because not many writers demand a high wage anymore in comics, but he's one that does. And you're going to have to increase the price of the book to compensate for that. So just based on that alone, they're going to have to go to $5 a book.
Yeah.
Which I'm a Spawn idiot. I'm a Cates idiot. I'll pay it. I'll pay $5 a book for a Kate Spawn. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I've
Um,
already pre-ordered the I think it's the one shot for Spawn Universe coming out in June.
yeah.
I've already pre-ordered that, the main cover.
But yeah, that one's pretty exciting. And another one that's got me excited is the Batman Scooby Doo. I think that's a real fun one.
You know what? Fable has been going off on me for not picking that up. He keeps telling me
Really?
to pick it up. He's like, you should pick up Batman Scooby Doo. It's the best. I was like, you're a DC
Good.
fan. Why aren't you picking up Batman and Scooby Doo?
Yeah, Batman and Scooby Doo. Like, how can you go wrong?
I remember the cartoons. Like they used to team up a lot, and those were always fun. So I might actually go back and pick it up because it's not regular cover price. It's like lower.
Yeah.
It's like only like $3.
Yeah, when I look at where I'm going with my collection, I don't look at price anymore because like I'm gonna pay whatever I have to pay to get those stories because it's just for me to read. Like I do very little investing anymore. I mean, and of course I'm lucky. I'm an actual business and I can order things cheaper. And I got an in with all the comic shops because of the pressing, so they treat me really well. So
That's good.
that helps for sure. But I can't really think of anything. I'll be honest, I can't think of a single thing coming down the pike from Marvel that I'm excited for.
No. The
Like
only thing
nothing at all.
the only thing that's sticking with me from Marvel is probably going to be Aliens. Alien.
I'm still up in the air on Alien. I read the first one. I haven't read the second one yet. I just picked it up yesterday, but like the first one was just okay for me. I really like the old Dark Horse Alien stuff, so I'll stay on it because I'm an Alien fan. I am excited for Predator. I prefer Predator over Alien, so that one is a one that I'll be on. Daredevil, like I can't do without Daredevil these days. That's probably the only Marvel book that is just one that I have to get. But other than that, Strange Academy kind of died off for me. I thought that was a cool concept at first. I'm a big Doctor Strange fan, so that kind of died off. And King of Black did it in. Like I don't care about symbiotes. I'm sick of symbiotes. I'm over symbiotes. Like I think they should have an alternate universe where the symbiotes battle the Joker and they both lose, so that we can just be rid of them.
It's like that's the end of them now. It's no
Yeah.
more symbiotes, no more Joker. We're just gonna go forward with this.
Yeah, I'm okay with keeping Venom around, but let's get rid of the rest of them. Let's get rid of the symbiotes. Let's move on, because there's so many other stories to be told. We don't need to be rehashing the same characters.
Yeah, it's kind of gotten a little overhand. So, what I'm pumped for coming out in DC would be Wonder Girl.
Yeah,
Wonder Girl.
yeah. I was looking at that. I was looking at that yesterday. Now, when they kicked off the Future State stuff, I was not a huge fan of Yara Flores, but when I read it, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed her, and like Fable's another guy that loves Yara Flor. And there's so many others like Marsden from that comic girl. She loves Yara Flor.
I was really surprised with the Future State stuff because I'm not one. I don't like. I'm old and set in my ways. I don't like new versions of old characters. I never have. It took me a while to warm up to Miles Morales, and I had to watch the cartoon like 4 or 5 times with my grandson before I'm like, okay, I get it. This is cool. But to me, I don't like forced diversity, and I don't like things like that. It to me, it takes away from who the characters are. But after reading the Future State stuff, I like the next Batman. That character as a person, like they made sense why he became Batman, and like just a super cool, just a super cool new take on Batman without taking away from the old Batman. They didn't have to lessen Bruce Wayne to give us a new Batman, and that's what I liked about it. And I feel they managed to do that with Yara Flores as well.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying her as a new character. I think the only like a lot of Future State brought in a lot of people into DC. Like I know with Big Herm, he was not picking up this much DC. Neither was Fable, and then they jumped on Future State and bought them all. They enjoyed a little bit of them, and then just continued with that. And now they're picking up comics that they didn't pick up before that are tied directly off of Future State. Like Fable's list got huge for DC. So did Big Herm's. Like they're picking up Nightwing and that. A bunch of others. Joker's another good one. I'm enjoying Joker.
Joker surprised me, man. I was super surprised at Joker. because when they announced Joker, I was like, "There's no way. I'm sick of the Joker. Batman's got more villains than the Joker. I'm just done with Joker." I was not going to read it, and I can't remember why I picked it up because the covers on it were horrendous, so it wasn't a cover buy. But I ended up picking it up, and yeah, it's like I'm into this new Joker run. They're doing it right.
For me, it was Robbie. Robbie was saying that it's not a Joker book because like he gets his books in advance, his DC books, um, and he was saying like it's not a Joker book. It's like it's about the Joker, but it's more about a Jim Gordon story than anything else. So
Right.
that's what got me into it. I was like, all right.
Oh yeah. So Greg's going to take credit for me reading the book, and he's probably right because I know that he was in the same place that I was with the Joker until this one came out. So it is a super cool book. I'm really excited to see what happens next. Very seldomly, I normally pick up like 3 or 4 issues before I read a story, but this is one I pick up and read every single day. Every Wednesday it comes out, I'm reading it because it's that good.
That way with Beast Wars and I'm gonna have to say Stray Dogs and Homesick Pilots. Those are the 3 that I read the first when I get them.
Yeah, Homesick Pilots has been a really good run.
And Stray
Dogs,
have to read. The artist will be on my channel on May 30th. Sorry.
For Stray Dogs?
Yeah, the artist from that. She did the covers as well. She's Canadian as well. So.
Wow. Yeah, I saw an interview with her on Tales from the Flip Side when it first came out. It would be really cool if they could do an interview with her with Comics Will Break Your Heart on that channel. I would like to see those ladies interact and kind of give us their take on it.
I'll probably throw it that way because I know Marsden is a huge fan of Stray Dogs. Like when I told her, like I locked down the interview with Trish Frostner, she got really excited. She was like freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, Travis!"
That's awesome. Yeah, I dig watching Mars. She like my daughter loves her. And
Tomorrow you suck.
What?
Tomorrow sucks. Tomorrow's saying Beast Wars suck. Beast Wars is a banger. I have also have the writer of Beast Wars coming on my channel. Hopefully June 30th. It's up in the air right now, but he said yes, he'll come on my channel. So I have a bunch of creator and artist interviews lined up for my channel, and I blame Fable.
Right on. You know, it's funny so I'm I'm fairly new to the whole YouTube thing. Like the rest of you guys have been around the comics YouTube community forever, and I'm just now trying to break into it and find my voice there. And I ended up just subscribing to everybody. The one person I was not subscribed to was Tomorrow, and then I watched that Lamer Friend the other night. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I got to be seeing what this cat's up to every week, man.
He's got something set up that's it just started last night on his channel that it's going to happen every Wednesday going forth, I think, and it was a lot of fun and a lot of people liked it. It's just a group chat. We just come on there and do a group chat. We were live last night with Rock and Robbie, and so it was Chamara Cinema, it was Nick from Comic Culture, myself, Robbie, the Missing Link, Stefan, Cryo Prime, and Big Herm Collectibles. We were all just chatting about just random things, and it was a lot of fun, and a lot of people loved it.
Right on.
So I think we'll be going forth with that every Wednesday. I think he's going to be doing that every Wednesday now. So,
like, we need a TV guide to keep all these straight. It's getting like there's so much content out there, and it's so cool because everybody's got different takes on everything that like it's all interesting. So I think that's a pretty cool thing about this community.
Yeah, like I watched John's comics with kids, and that him and I don't get a lot have the same views on comics, but I still love his show, and we're still friends. And that, like, he hates Alien, he hates it, and I always bug him about it. So,
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to get running because I got appointments this afternoon,
all right.
and I got to get your books prepped to get into the press. So, anytime you want to come on, man. Every Thursday, anybody else wants to pop on, we do this every Thursday. I do have an episode of It Came from the LCS that's going to drop Saturday night, I believe, where we're going to show off some personal collections and some big books that Greg pulled out to share with the community. So that's pretty cool. What do you got coming up, man?
Tonight it's the captain's ahoy mateys and mermaids birthday tonight, so he's celebrating over on his channel with that. So I might pop in for that, wish him a happy birthday. If you don't know the captain, he was on Lamer Frame. He was the one in the coconut bra.
Yeah.
So, and then tomorrow I'll probably be doing a Ghost Rider card unpacking. I have a few other things coming. Over on Big Herm Collectibles, we'll be talking the last episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, then Invincible, and then 5 issues of the Spawn Compendium. And then next week, it's So Big. I'll just announce that on Big Herm's Collectible. It's just a lot of interviews coming up with like Marvin Wynn over on Tomorrow Cinema's channel. That's next Wednesday night. Then Friday, I have Alfred Page coming on my channel.
Right on. Right on. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up, man. I will talk to you later.
All right. Stay tuned.
Time traders.